Hello, I'm Daniela Saioni, a veteran script supervisor who has worked on films and TV shows you've probably seen for over 3 decades, shot in 10 countries. Today, I'm coming to you from Quartiere San Lorenzo in Rome. And over the years, not only have I negotiated my own deals, I have a training program that has been putting script supervisors to work since 1995 called the Director Whisperer Training Program. Besides all the technical aspects of the job and the deep dive into coverage and our work with the director and understanding their process, another major focus of my program is career strategy, because aspects of this job can sometimes feel mysterious and overwhelming, and I want you to win wherever you may be. And because my director whisperers are in so many different countries, 27 as of this recording, when we talk to each other about things like pay rates and deal points, the standards are, well, all over the map. It's for that reason that we'll discuss specific rates and conditions in our various regions, whether we're union or non-union, within the program, but not something I can talk about publicly on my YouTube channel, especially since things are continually evolving. However, what I can talk about on a more general level are the deal points we want to cover when we negotiate our contracts, whether we're working locally or on a location shoot. To that end, I've put together a handy checklist of deal points for script supervisors that you can use when you negotiate your next deal. Not every region incorporates every item on the list, such as camera fees, assistant script supervisors, or even kit rental fees. So I have starred those line items, but it's still good for you to be aware that these deal points exist, especially when you're contracted to work in a location or for a producer from a country where they have been normalized. And really, why shouldn't we universally normalize our working conditions, even if the rates themselves vary by local currency? We're doing the same job whether we are doing it in Toronto, LA, Greece, London, Colombia, Taipei, or Nigeria. Am I right? To give you the overview, if you are a union member and your union contract applies in the region you're working in, minimum standards for most or all of the points on the list will have been pre-negotiated for you by your union local, so you would refer to that contract in those cases. But do keep in mind that those are minimums and that everything is negotiable beyond that. If you're non-union, it can feel like the Wild West out there, so make sure you read your deal memo before signing it, and indeed negotiate anything you need to add or clarify with the production manager. Things like your base rate. If you're working hourly, is the base rate applicable to 8 hours or 10 hours? If you're on a daily flat, is it reflective of the same daily flat rate as other department heads? When does overtime kick in and at what rates? What about meal penalties, 6th and 7th day rates, travel rates, and wrap time at the end of each day? And how much turnaround time will you get? Turnaround is the amount of time between when you wrap and when you're on the clock next, and the contract will usually specify a financial penalty for infringing on turnaround. And how much prep time will you get? How long is a day of prep, and how many wrap days? Are script timings included in your prep time? This varies from region to region, but it's something you can specify in your deal. If you see a term like favored nations in your deal, that either means everyone on the movie is making the same base rate or every department head is making the same base rate. So make sure your favored nations rate reflects the fact that you are a department head. When director whisperers come to me to review their contracts, I've seen some shocking things like base rates that match what PAs make and not other department heads, and subpar prep time. More often than not, this is not the result of malicious intent by producers, but rather a lack of understanding by newer producers on what our role actually is. Because we are still a department of one in many parts of the world, we need to be able to advocate for ourselves in the negotiation process, especially on those non-union shows in those non-union years. But it does not end there, because you may want to go beyond union minimums, and especially because of location shoots where your minimum union protections may not even apply. My checklist includes other items like kit rentals, camera fees, cell phone, transportation, payment frequency, script assistance, and a list of additional items to consider for location shoot. You can access my checklist below this video by signing up for my email list, where I offer my global script community secret deals and useful information on a regular basis, and which you can opt out of at any time. And it's useful to note that there might be other bigger picture priorities specific to you to negotiate beyond this list, like job sharing so you can spend more time with family, or advancement opportunities like directing second unit. I've seen my students successfully negotiate for those things and more over the years as well, depending on their goals and life situation. Those items are not on the checklist because they get into work-life balance and career strategy. Those topics and more are covered in my 12-hour career coaching bundle that comes with a lot of useful information on things like setting up your resume, interviewing your director and landing the gig, handling difficult people, strategizing set politics, and so much more. You can purchase that bundle on its own if you're interested. I'll include a link below. Or the Career Strategy Power Pack comes as one of the many free bonuses in my comprehensive Director Whisperer training program, which was especially designed for script supervisors in their first 10 years, which I believe are the most critical years in establishing the kind of career you want to have. If you're interested in learning more about my program, I will post that link as well. Whether you join me or not, my wish is that the checklist will help you negotiate a deal that ups your wages to more than the cost of my program, which I have seen many people do many times over now. Buon lavoro, everyone.